Hello dear student, welcome in this online session of 10th standard. Today we are going to learn about a very interesting chapter which is already displaying on your screen, and I hope you are doing well at your home, healthy, fit and fine, staying at your home and also maintaining self-distancing. See, in this type of days like COVID-19 and all, in this pandemic situation, we need to take care of our body, of our people, of our surrounding, everybody, even of our pets also very well. And I hope you are doing these all things. So focusing on today's lecture, online session in this YouTube video, where I'm gonna teach you lesson number 14, transportation, communication as well as the trade. See, this lesson is not consisting maximum marks in the examination, as well as this lesson has been also not included in the examination, but it is one kind of information. That's how I'm teaching you this lesson. So in this lesson we'll be focusing over the main topics, and that's how you can be boosting up your knowledge too. Now see, trade, transport and communication, it is already displaying here as I said you. The movement of the people from the ancient time, from one place to another, movement was done by the animals in the ancient time. Okay, and if you talk about what is the definition of the transportation, it means that the movement of any kind of thing related to person, place, thing, or you can say any kind of object also from one place to another is called transportation. Okay, transportation means to move from one place to another. In the general term, we can say the process of going from one place to another is known as transportation. So that's how the portion of transportation has been contributed in the economy also, as well as physical progress too. See, due to transportation, exchange of goods, people are possible nowadays since from the ancient time. And that's how I can say that the distance place be linked today by the help of transportation. So we are having means of transportation like airways, waterways, roadways, okay, and underground airways, railways, monorails. Lots of kinds of transportations are there, and that's how we can say earlier it was less like interaction with the people in the comparison with the today's now and then, because today we are having the fastest medium of the transportation, but in the ancient time it was not that much improved out here, and thus they were using all the kinds of the we can say animals or the birds to send the messages or to transport themselves, or the goods carriage also. And that's how we can say mail, telephone, cell phones and internet services are not there, but today it is widely used out here. So India has also launched satellite space research center from a satellite which has been improving the telecommunication for India. And that's how we can say the trade is now directly economically activities and everything is working along with the trade, as well as we can say that trade is also encouraging the productivity as well as activity, not in the nation level but also including international level. So we can say that our country has been also becoming self-reliant totally due to this transportation services as well as the communication too. So it has to make exchange with the countries. Example, we can say like the agro products of India is sent to the middle eastern part of the countries, and also we import date, palm, mineral oil from them. So that's how we build up the relationship also. So this was the basic introduction and the definition related to the lesson, my dear student, and now we are going to move on the main topic. Main topic says that transportation in the earlier compared to the now. Now you can see that earlier men used to live with the we can say wanderers life, gatherers, hunters and the wanderers, and that's how the invention of the agriculture made them to stay stable at a place, and that's how we can say the sedentary life became very much possible. Earlier we used to carry this kinds of things with the heavy logs and all with the help of horses or elephants and all, beast of burden as we call them, and in the agricultural field also, in the animal husbandry also, these all the things animals were worthily working for us. So that's how we can say the period has been changing now in the modern time, and now we're having automatic vehicles, that is the auto vehicles are used more than the animal transportation, and that's how we can say this transportation system has made our orientation from one place to another maximum, and also we can reach to the places that it was not accessible. Now we can say transportations are right now affected by location, climate, relief, human life, population, etc, etc. Moreover, we can say you can observe the figure also how the ancient time people used to carry one place to another the materials as well as the animals also. So we can say that capital investment is possible. Now, after the political decisions and all, these things are also affecting the transportation, railways and all. But then also somehow we can say in the zone like mountainous zone, remote areas and all, we are able to move on. Because in the ancient time, yak was also used out here, or buffaloes were also used out in the internal mountain zone or the area near to the countryside and all. So we can say we have now moving more further in the advanced level. Now, during the essence of the Everest, if you talk about the Bhotia people who are better mountaineers, also work as the landlords, land laborers and all to carry the goods. Besides, elephant, mule, horse are used in the mountainous and forest also. Well, if you talk about the camel, then camel is also known as the sheep of desert and best for the transportation in the desert area where the water is available very less amount. As well as you might have seen that woodcutters carrying the woods over the camel as well as over their head also by themselves. So nowadays we can say that all the things are possibly working with the help of machineries and all. So on the railway stations, the coolies are also been seen carrying the luggages right now on their heads. Sheep or small boat is also used for the transporting material from the water surfaces and all, from the water transportation. So we can say a river is also fairly used out in this kinds of transportation service, as well as perennial rivers are also used out there. So now we'll be talking about the modern system. See, my dear student, page number 112, modern system says that roads were improved in the transportation since the ancient time, and that was a network of the highways during the rural areas also, or the rule of, if you talk about the development rule of Samrat Ashoka Chandragupta Maurya, the roads were contemporarily developed out here. It means that complementary the railways, sea routes, air routes, most important characters of the roads are widespread and they have been also connecting internally. So men and their areas were now nearer to each other, and the road system of India is the one of the third largest road system under the we can say states compared to the America and China. So that's how we need to understand that this is the system which is actually coming from the Chandragupta Maurya's time, Ashoka's time, Harappa's time, or you can say Mohenjo-daro's time. So these are the basic things which we gonna understand. Now here shows the graph. Okay, now blue line indicates the roadways, railways with the red, okay, airways with the green, as well as the waterways into the indigo color. Now this shows you how this nation is divided into the classification of the roadways: national highways, state highways, district highways, village, as well as you can say approach roads too. So this is how these roads are divided into. Okay, where I can say 9% of the railways are there, other than 6% airways. We are working in India, 83% of the roadways and 2% is relating with the waterways. Now if you talk about the north highways and all, the important part of our systematic development as well as the infrastructure movement also, because not only from the economical development point of view but also from the safety point, the responsibility of the construction of these we can say highest restways with the central government was now was established, and the state capital, large industries, commercial sites, major ports, interconnected highways, they are all working together, and that's how we can say these roads are also connecting India with the neighboring countries like Myanmar, Pakistan, okay, Nepal, Bhutan, China, as well as National Highway number 44. You must remember this is the longest highway in our country, which is connecting the Srinagar to the Kanyakumari, means upper India to the bottom India. 4 metro cities are also there: Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata. They will also interact each other with the Golden Quadrilateral Highway, where we can say National Highway number 27, 41, 47, then 147 and 141 passes through the Gujarat, which is also very much accessible for our general destination. And apart from that, if you go more further, then we can say, considering the total population viewing Chandigarh, then Puducherry, that is Pondicherry, Delhi, Goa, states have more number of the national highways. Next come the states of Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Manipur, etc. etc. So the total length of the national highway is less than those in the Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, or you can say Maharashtra, Gujarat. But where is the more population, we need to develop more amount of roads. That's a general kind of thing. Now let's focus about the state highways and all. See, NS24, SS10, then comes Navagam 2 kilometer and all, then Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana also, it is shown there. These all things are showing you the basic thing. Now we are having all the kinds of roads. Say state ways are there, then district ways are there, village road, border roads and all. You can be reading this by yourself and you can get some more examples where I am showing you the figure of expressway. Jaipur 170, like 750 kilometer, Ahmedabad 92 kilometer, and this is also showing you the NHAI, that is Indian National Expressway. Okay, so this is how all the expressway are also cutting off the traffic problem. They are giving us a new loop and also speed to reach to our destination. As well as if I go in the detail, then I can tell you, my dear student, that expressways are also called Durtgati Marg. Okay, it means the vehicle can be driven without any obstacles of the highway with the 4 lanes, and the speed must be of the car 125 as well as trucks about 80 kmpl. So this is how we can say the express highway, whereas the railway crossings are also located over crosses to each other, and that's how Ahmedabad Vadodara Express Highway is one of the example of the Waterways. A toll tax has to be also paid when you are using any express highway. Road have been constructed and connecting all the major ports of the nations. It means whenever it is needed, you can easily access each other, you can connect each other. And now we can understand about the traffic problems also. See, generally, my dear student, traffic problem is the main problem of every nation. But in India, we deal it with a different way. Therefore, we can say overbridges, bypasses, roads are around the cities constructed to avoid the traffic problem in the larger cities also. However, the traffic problem is so astray in the metropolitan cities that they increased due to the increase of vehicle and all, that they create the accidental zone also. And that's how we can say the urban roads they are unable to connect with the widened systematic development, as well as they are compared to the population, they are crowded always. And this is how we can say with the increase of encroachment along with the road traffic jam, then we can say scenes have become very common during the peak hours. Peak hours means the hours which when the school, job, companies and all the colleges are running, all are about to be filled by the student, people, businessmen and all, means they use the roadways to reach that kind of places here. So traffic jam is also caused due to these kinds of processions like marriage processions, social processions, other kinds of the like traffic jams and all basically. So in the cities, if you talk about the cities like Delhi, okay, traffic jam does not get cleared for many hours. Why? Because there you can say that population is maximum, as well as the traffic problems are since from the ancient times. So ignoring this kinds of rules and regulations, people sometimes they break also the traffic rules, and that's how we can say passengers heading towards the railway stations and the patients needing the immediate treatment are unable to reach to the hospital or reach to the airport or reach to the you can say like railway platform also. So these are the basic you can say like problems related to the traffic problem. Now suggestions are also given there, you can read by yourself, like 2 to 3 I'll be giving you the example. In the class 9th you have already studied about the traffic problem, yeah, and in this traffic problem, like do not overtake unless absolutely necessary is needed. Now do not talk on the phone. Obviously whenever any call is coming, if you are trying to receive that call, you can meet with an accident also. Okay, allow 108 like 108 ambulance emergency vehicle or the fire brigade whenever accidental zone is needing them. Okay, and do not create any kind of noise like pollution if you are actually sitting inside any vehicle or you are driving the vehicle. Okay, walk down nearby the passage of the passengers, walking only, do not walk on the roads and all. At the night time, dimmer only is used absolutely when necessary. So if you are using any kind of dimmer, you must be knowing that dimmer or the deeper is actually used whenever they are needing. It's not like unnecessarily you can hit the deeper or the passing light in your bikes. Same as we can call about the railway also, like you all know about the Indian Railway is the largest national institute about the Indian Railway, where the Indian Railway is also transporting the medium amount of the main medium of the transportation to the cooperating sector also, as well as it is also cooperatingly we can say generating the economic also field to the Indian such you can say agriculture by the transporting and all the kinds of goods and industrial materials also. So that's how it's a major contribution to the national security, peace management, as well as establishing a cultural geographical unity also to maintain every kind of benefits. Railway is used out here. So it's how we can say Indian Railway ranks first in Asia, second in the world by its services as well as the length too. Now see, if we have talked about the railway, we need to also go and talk about the progress of the railway. See, my dear student, first railway was started in India from Mumbai to Thane in 1853. Now there are three types of railways in our nation: broad gauge, then metric gauge, as well as the narrow gauge. The three gauges of the narrow gauge railway tracks belonging to covering each other gauges into the recent time, and that's how we can say big achievement of Indian Railway has done has it has totally done. Now due to the different gauges, lots of time was wasted in the traveling and transporting also, so passenger goods also, so much money was also wasted, and that's how we can say that Indian government somehow made only one track for all the kinds of railways. So that's how railway network is more dense in the states like plain areas, okay, like Gujarat and all, Maharashtra, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bihar. Industrial areas also. Intensive railway systems can be seen in the mineral-rich field also to carry around these kinds of fuel, and also like railway lines of Kolkata, Delhi, Jabalpur have metro rails too also working with that, and somehow we can say this all the project have been also started in Ahmedabad. So railway and railway system is also one kind of system which is actually helping us not only by giving food, medicine, fuel, oil, mineral, but also by supplying the soldiers and also supplying their ammunition materials, as well as supplying the heavy key machines also like JCBs or tank or whatever the trucks are there from one place to another very efficiently, very workfully. And this is how we can say railway is used as a task, as a transferring the passengers also from one place to another. Now I'll be showing you some of the railway routes in this map. Major railway routes of India. Now you can see this whole of the India has got the rail routes, okay, and that is how we are trying to establish this network more effectively, okay. Now see, the railway route has not been mentioned over the we can say in the Kashmir zone and all, or you can get for the Himachal zone and all. Why? Because that zone consists most of remote areas where the railway system is inaccessible, so you can see that area is somehow blank out, okay. So let's move further. Now comes the waterways. As you know, generally in India the transportation was carried out by the waterways, and now also it is carrying out here. If we talk about the waterways, then we are having internal waterways and oceanic waterways. Internal waterways are waterways which are internally helping the nation. External means the overseas we are sending the materials and the product also. Transporting by rivers and canals, if we talk about then the waterways, then we can say West Bengal, Assam, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, okay, are the basic, we can say like the West Bengal, Assam, Tamil Nadu, Bihar are the important states which are actually supporting the waterways. And if you talk about the steamers, large boats are also permanently used on these kinds of waterways. Now in these kinds of waterways we are also having National Waterway Gate, okay, means National Waterway 1, that is Ganga River, Haldia, Allahabad, it crosses around 1620 kilometers, and same as we can say National Waterways about Brahmaputra, which goes 891 kilometers till the river Dhurbi, and same as we can say other waterways are also there like Kollam, Kottam, 250 western coastal canals, then fourth come Godavari, Krishna River, about Kakinada, that reaches to the Puducherry about 178 kilometers, and the last but not the least, that is the Brahmi River about the Koiknal, teaches Talachar, reaches around 888 kilometers, 588 kilometers, and also this is how we can say our river waterways have internal India have been also developing in such a way that it has connected almost 85% of the internal nations, okay. And same as we can say oceanic waterways also, like India has about 7,516 kilometer long coastal line. Along with the coastline, along with the coastline, there has been 13 major and 200 minor ports after the shipping corporations of India was founded, and that's how it has been making a development also to the nation, as well as international waterways have been also developing very, very excessively, like Kandla, Mumbai, Navsari, Marmugao, okay, and then New Mangalore, Kochi, Visakhapatnam, Pradweep, okay, Chennai, Tuticorin, Kolkata, all the kinds of things, all the kinds of areas are located with the waterways only. So you can read by yourself, my dear student, and apart from that you can also get your personal proper information, because this lesson is not going to come in the exam and it has not consisting any kind of extra marks also. Maximum 1 or 2 marks is going to be considered from this lesson. Now comes the airways. It is one of the fastest medium, airways. It is one of the fastest medium, but costly also if we transfer from one place to another. And that's how we can say today Authority of the India also carries about 127 airports, which includes 15 international as well as 87 domestic airports. And that's how we can say 25 civilian airport terminals are also there in the case of emergency. So this is the basic thing which we are learning today. Other we can say transportation, like pipelines are there, ropeways are there. You can see out communication systems are there, how extremely working with the communication system, because in the ancient time the messages were sent by playing the dhol, okay, drum coming in the villages and all, but by the pigeons also, through the animals also. But in the modern communication system we are having mobile telephone, we are having all the kinds of mail services, smartphones are there, and we have made WhatsApp media or whatever the other medias are there very effectively working out here. So same as we can say individual communication system has been also gathered. Mass communication means, individual means I can connect with you personally, okay, and mass means we all are right now connecting with the help of YouTube officially, and that's how we can say satellite connection has been also working out here. It also improved the trade, then internal trade, about international trade also, and we can say important trade of India has been also boosted out. Like for example, iron and steel production of India is not sufficient, so India imports iron and steel from the other countries also. As well as we can say the demand of mineral oil and the lubricant is more to transport to keep the machines, and that's how we can say active important things of the lubrications or the oil we all are doing from the other eastern countries. And we also import machines, then pearl, gemstone, edible oil as per the requirement. So therefore we can say we import these kinds of things from USA, Germany, Russia, Myanmar, Iraq or France too. So this is how this lesson is making you understand about the basic detail and the theory. Lastly, you can read by yourself about the export of India, and I hope you got the information and great knowledge from this lesson. This lesson is not considering that much amount of marks in the examination, so you can just overall read this lesson. There is no need to go in the deep about the lesson. If you need to get some example and the related theory, you can read this lesson also in the very deep level. Take care. See you soon in some other lecture of the new part of the new chapter. Till then, keep safe, be safe. Jai Hind.